Hello to the TUC meeting on 7th of May. Today we have our agenda, usual agenda without working group update. So we'll go over the actions from last week, review our open PRs issues, RFCs, and talk about any other business. Yeah, actions from last week. So I generated the RFC numbers. We had two RFCs approved last week, so we have new numbers now. Check on the cost for images on Docker Hub versus GitHub packages. Chris.
I have yet to do that, but it is towards the top of my to-do list this week.
Yeah. I saw you commented on the RFC. What are the costs for Docker Hub
Right.
monthly? Yeah.
Yeah, the Docker Hub open source thing has been sort of opaque. We've got the Kettle build packs has been approved, but I'm not sure why CloudFoundry no longer gets approved. Maybe because that is a fairly large organization with lots of paid users, and it was transferred over from VMware at one point. But so we do pay for that. So yeah, if GitHub Actions or GitHub Packages rather provides an alternative that saves that money, that would be lovely. But I'll dig into that this week.
Yeah, thanks. And the Go CF client repository has been moved to our organization, CloudFoundry organization. Thanks for that, Chris.
No problem.
And now we can go to the next agenda point, our open PRs and RFCs. We have one PR. It's about inactive users to be deleted. So we have one inactive user identified this month. So we have to wait another week before we merge this one. We don't have the TUC meeting next week, so the TUC meeting is cancelled next week, but I can just merge it if it's approved. Next, I will wait another week and just merge when the time is over. It will be great if we can approve this now, and then we can merge. Somehow slow on my side. Okay, I have approvals. I approve by myself after the meeting somehow. It's slow at the moment. Okay. RFCs. We started the final comment period for the RFC about support for file-based service binding information. I didn't see any comments since then, so there are some approvals. Everything looks fine, just to me. Do we have any comments? Or... Okay, then we can proceed with accepting this. Okay, thanks. Okay. I have it's at home. I have to start the next. Okay. Excuse me for 1 second. Just. Sorry for that. Just the moment we finished, I have to start another one. Okay. So we can go to the next RFC. So here I saw that there is a new proposal how to proceed with this one. By Tim. Yeah, basically this is the new suggestion, which is in bold.
I like this idea. I don't know if we need an RFC for it, but I'm all for having a community email. I wish that GitHub would allow teams to have an email.
Yeah.
I think that's currently possible.
Is it possible, Chris? Do you know the suggestion technically? Maybe you can check later if you are not sure
Yeah,
at the
not
moment.
sure, I mean, there's certainly some cleanup that can be done in the CFF Docker Hub account, and limiting access could be helpful. We did a purge at one point, Eric, and I went through and cut it down a bit. But I'm sure like just moving away from individual emails to group ones could be helpful for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We have a similar pattern for the FIPS canonical account, right?
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts in that Docker Hub work, so I'm not quite sure. A full audit would be helpful, and yeah, and if I someone on the Broadcom side of things, and I could sit down and go through that'd be probably good, regardless of the GitHub packages move.
And regarding the question about whether we need an RFC, I don't know. Most probably not.
If we find out that this works, right, it's good to have something to reference.
Yeah.
Down the road, right? Like if a question comes up, right, we can say this is the way to do it.
For the branch protection, we have some documentation also for the automation, like regarding inactive users. We could put something like that.
Like an RFC, like maybe it's just documentation on how to request such a group, as in because we're not gonna automate creating these accounts. I mean, that would be nice, but not a bit too much, I believe.
I think the similar issue or situation is for the email addresses that you need when you want to create a bot user. You also need to back it by an email in order to create such an user in GitHub. And in Ari, yeah, I think we asked Chris to create us one of these users, and the credentials are now maintained in this GCP account in the secret manager, and therefore then shared in the working group.
But that's an actual user that you can log into with an email box, right? And this is proposing a group, that's what we have for VIPs, where everybody on that mailing list will get those emails. It's basically
Okay.
distribution list. So you don't have that access management problem. There's just the getting on the list problem. And we already know the people that should be on the list because that's basically in the defined in the working group areas.
Yeah, that's true. And approvers don't change as often as other things.
Yeah, I like that idea. Then I mean, right now with just the email approach, you know, when there is a changeover, people have to like give credentials. But if there's just a group that's managed, then that's sort of
it is something you could eventually automate, right? Like that's the nice thing about it.
Right. And you can use that for, I mean, each working group, you know, there's GCP accounts, there's AWS accounts, there's Docker Hub, there's other things. So having all that in one place would be certainly nice.
Okay.
We need a working group areas. Working group areas email distribution list RFC. I'd like that.
You think areas or for the whole working group?
I would say areas. I don't know, like, is there a cost involved in creating these? I know there's for users, but I don't know.
Yeah, users G Suite is like, it's like $12 a month for a new email account. For a group, I think it's less or nothing.
It's nothing. We should go with the most fine-grained, I would say.
Right.
Because then you can still do the least privilege thing, right? Like ideally you want a group of people that manage the thing to be as small as possible.
Right. And you could nest the groups too, I believe, right? So you could have a working group and then the areas.
Okay, I feel we're gonna
Fancy,
automate
fancy.
More complex.
Is there a Python client for this Google Groups thing you're talking about?
Most probably, yes. So should we delegate this to Tim to update the RFC, or should we take this with us? This sounds like more TUC, I think.
I mean, we could maybe try it out too with the working group. Because I mean, generally any working group can request something like this and I can just do it. So maybe we try this out with one working group and try and streamline, see how that goes. I don't.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And then so I'm trying to summarize the action item.
It's a little complicated.
Yeah. So Chris, do you still want to check something technically, what is possible, and then put an answer here? Or,
Yeah, I mean, the GitHub Actions, the GitHub Packages question is sort of, well, there's two questions. There's the Docker Hub versus GitHub Packages, which we need to explore more, and then there's the overall organization about how we credential or give people access to resources in working groups and project areas. So those are kind of separate questions, I think, because regardless of whether or not we go to Docker Hub and go to GitHub Packages and ditch Docker Hub entirely, there could be a reorganization of the way we, give people access to these things using groups as opposed to emails, which probably makes sense if you can nest them in particular, and if it is free, which I think both of those things is the case.
Yeah, my question was more for the second part you mentioned.
Sure. Yeah, I'll look into that this week. I'll reach out to GitHub support probably and ask about that and see if they have these questions or see what the costs are. So it looks like it's more of a volume cost basis for GitHub Actions, GitHub packages rather, as opposed to a per seat cost. So I'm not sure if it's easy to calculate that one-to-one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Then I'll try to write. Just a second. Copy. Something like this. Okay, then we have a new RFC. It's regarding the next step for the cloud native build packs to have system build packs. It's a short one. Basically, this will enable people to just do CF push with the new lifecycle type and use auto detect. Yeah. Please, yeah, go over it and provide feedback. If you have any now, we can discuss.
I'm not familiar with the authors of this RFC. Does anyone know, are they the ones who would be doing the work, or are they asking another team to do work?
They are planning to do the work.
Okay.
Pavel is from the team where Jan von Lowenstein is the
Oh, okay.
PO. Yeah.
Just checking.
Take
I
your
mean,
time.
I like it as a flag. It's clean, especially if you still keep the standard build packs as the default. You know, allows you basically to opt in. So that's kind of nice.
So it describes it to be in backwards compatible way. So everything you do goes for the V2 build packs, and you have explicit need to select the V3 build packs. Okay, we can talk next time or asynchronous async about this when we have checked on that. Regarding issues, we don't have any new. I think at some point we need to decide about the three which are open since 1 2 years. What we want to do with them, but let's do this another time. Is there any other business?
You guys all set for the TOC panel? Those of you that are going to be at CloudFoundry Day and participating next week, I believe Ram shared some questions, but you all connected with James at all, or do you need any help facilitating that?
We have not connected that I know of, but I think we can do that. That sounds like a good idea.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you can all think of plenty of things to talk about. And yeah, Ram's initial questions look helpful.
Are there any updates for the CFD?
It's next Wednesday.
Yeah.
No change in schedule.
It's the first time we can say that it's next Wednesday. So yeah, really looking forward to it. You know, wish you all could be joining us there, but really excited to see those of you who are. And it should be a full day. The schedule is all set. I think all the final changes have been made, and everything looks quite good.
Yeah, I like the sessions. It sounds really promising.
Sessions sound good, and the event, the event spaces both look really nice. So We still do have room for more folks. If you know folks probably at this point in the wider New York area, it'd be great to get some more folks there. But it should be a great day.
See you all very soon.
Yeah. We are flying tomorrow. Not tomorrow,
No.
sorry. On Friday. With Stephan.
Tomorrow.
I would like to be tomorrow, but we have to wait another 2-3 days. Is there anything else? No. Then yeah. See you during CloudFound Day or in 2 weeks. So next meeting is cancelled, and we'll have the meeting again on 21st of May.
See you.
Take care. See you. Bye bye.
Bye.